Hello, I'm Kimber Mahon. I've been a field reporter for several networks and have seen many investigations that expose hidden dangers in our everyday lives. However, I've never seen anything like the toxic dangers in the typical American home. This one is so peaceful, anyone could feel at ease here, right? Not quite. The fact is, each member of the family who lives here is being exposed to toxic chemicals by the very products they trust to protect them. I'm here to show you some things that might shock you. They certainly changed my point of view on household items. Let's start in the kitchen. You know, one of the first places one might expect an unforeseen problem is drinking water. The average city water is loaded with chemicals and heavy metals. In fact, here's a list of some of the chemicals that are typically found in most water coming out of taps across America. This pollution problem extends beyond our boundaries and is worldwide. In fact, global low-level metal toxicity is recognized by the EPA, FDA, CDC, and state health departments. These chemicals and heavy metals can accumulate in your body and eventually cause health challenges. Some of these are also in bottled water. We are all getting our daily dose of toxins by simply drinking water every day. Heavy metals like lead and cadmium can often be associated with infertility. Now, let's take a look inside the fridge. Judging by the amount of food in here, these people must eat well. Or do they? This could be a real health hazard. Foods encased in plastic. Studies show that chemicals called plasticizers from food wrappings and beverage containers are extremely toxic. The toxins escape the plastic material, get into the food, and then we eat them. Plasticizers are also known as phthalates. They cause all kinds of health problems, including disrupting hormone function. Heavy metals also leach into foods cooked or stored in aluminum. Just look at this can. One day after you empty it, the oxidation shows up where the pineapple etched into the metal. Where do you think the metal goes after it's removed? Yep, into the pineapple and then into your body. Now look at this aluminum pizza pan. When I simply scour the surface with a paper towel, the aluminum breaks down and gets into your food while you cook it. When you have to eat a quick meal, what do? If you're like most people, you throw something into the microwave. This is okay in moderation, but it's the microwave-safe dishes that pose the problem. Cooking in plastic only compounds the problem of plasticizers. The heat just speeds up the unhealthy process of leaching toxins into the food. Let me now demonstrate a proof positive to you. Every cell in your body carries and relies on an electrical charge to stay healthy. Our cells react to metals in the same way this battery does. Metals short-circuit the cell's ability to absorb nutrients and minerals through the membrane. On a larger scale, this battery represents your body's cells. You can see by the spark there's an instant reaction. The difference is our cells aren't as resilient to this short circuit, and over time, this action can drain energy and literally starve the cell to death. This pan is lined with non-stick Teflon, made to make your cooking easier. However, members of an EPA Scientific Advisory Board report that the chemical used to make this non-stick material is likely to cause cancer in humans. This toxin has been used in non-stick pans for more than 2 decades, and it's a health risk that's just now being publicized. Oh, look at these picnic supplies. This family sure knows how to have fun. On the other hand, maybe their love of convenience is a two-edged sword. We have foam plates, plastic styrene cups, paper napkins. Not good, especially when these synthetic materials come in contact with hot food. Unfortunately, this spells even more chemical contamination. And these toxins inside the body keep accumulating year after year. They don't magically disappear. And what about the bathroom? Look at all these personal care products and pills. Did you know that antacids, lipsticks, deodorants, some aerosol products, non-aspirin pain relievers like ibuprofen and Motrin, and toothpaste all contain aluminum? Aluminum contamination has been linked to neurological diseases like Alzheimer's. Now let's visit one of the bedrooms. I wonder what we'll find in there. Here's another toxic troublemaker. The family just had the bedroom re-carpeted, and you can really smell the chemicals outgassing from the carpeting. There are all kinds of deadly chemicals that outgas from different types of carpeting. In one scientific study, a small piece of new carpet was put into a jar with a mouse overnight. In the morning, the mouse was dead from the toxic fumes. Several studies have found that the air in your house may be more deadly than the air outdoors. For efficiency reasons, houses these days are built airtight, trapping all that toxic air inside. Now, let's check out the closet. As you can see, some of these clothes have been dry cleaned. Dry cleaning solvents can be harmful long after you bring your clothes home. They can absorb into your skin through contact with the material. Your body retains these chemicals. The toxic buildup just keeps on growing. Pressed board and plywood furniture contain chemicals like formaldehyde that can silently and invisibly escape into the air. Paint and wallpaper also add their potentially harmful chemicals to your environment. Okay, here's a major source of toxins, the garage. Have you ever thought of all the metal that goes into the air when you just drill, or the fumes from the vaporous products? Just looking at them makes me want to get some fresh air. Looks like a nice day, but looks can be deceiving. There's a steel mill nearby that spews heavy metals into the air. Clouds carry the pollution for miles, and the stuff settles on lawns and gardens with a wide radius. People who don't even live near the mill are affected. They breathe in the toxins and track them into their homes. But wait, there's more. The family who lives here, as well as their neighbors, take great pride in their yards. They want to make sure that every leaf, every flower, every bush is perfect. So they spray pesticides to make sure no bugs mar their lovely foliage. As you can see, it looks beautiful. But look past the lush natural beauty at the pesticides that are being used, which are, in fact, a diluted form of nerve gas. When these vapors are inhaled, they pass through your lungs, then through your brain. Pesticide exposure has been linked to reproductive, immune, and nervous system damage. How about a refreshing dip in the backyard pool to escape from all these harmful chemicals? It may be a great escape from the heat, but it's definitely not an escape from toxins. Chlorine is used to disinfect city drinking water and swimming pools. Used now for a decade to treat water, this chemical is linked to cases of bladder, rectum, and breast cancer. Even if you don't drink the water, you can absorb chlorine through your skin while swimming, showering, or bathing. Another danger we're exposed to is from toxic heavy metals. Toxic heavy metals are found in our air. They're emitted by factories, automobiles, and things you wouldn't imagine. Just look up at the sky. Every time a jet passes by, where do you think the exhaust goes? It settles down on us, our yards, our families. Unfortunately, if you drink water, breathe air, and eat food, your health is at risk. And the cumulative effects of pollutants can be devastating. These chemicals are foreign to the body and are not meant to be metabolized. So these toxins accumulate in the body over time without demonstrating any outward signs or symptoms. Slowly and silently they stockpile, leading to disease. Cases of cancer reflect this problem, and even cancers in children are on the rise. We're not supposed to have any plastics or heavy metals in our bodies. You see, there is no safe level of toxins. No wonder Columbia University School of Public Health reports that 95% of cancer is caused by diet and environment. With constant toxic exposure, our bodies are time bombs waiting to explode. However, there is hope. When you're in good health, your body is able to handle a lot of toxins. Even knowing the gravity of the situation, you can still enjoy abundant health in today's toxic world. You do have a choice, and you can take action. The first step is to minimize your risks. Personally, I've decided to change some of my habits. I'm switching from plastic containers to glass. I'm purchasing a good air and water purifier. I won't microwave my food in plastic. I don't even store my food in plastic anymore. I don't use non-stick Teflon pans either. I'm sure you'll agree that we need to remove these health risks before it's too late. I've always lived a reasonably healthy lifestyle, but recently I discovered this exciting back-to-basics philosophy that takes it a step further. It's called the Detoxmin Lifestyle System. This lifestyle system helps you cope with today's toxic world. We can promise you a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life. Dr. Rita Ellithorpe is a physician who practices integrative medicine. She'll explain her experience with the Detoxmin Lifestyle System, which she herself has used in her private practice for years.
Hello. I'd like to show you a wonderful program I've been using in my practice for several years. As you know, it's impossible to take the people out of the pollutants, but you can take the pollutants out of the people. In other words, you can't avoid the toxins we are constantly exposed to, but you can minimize your risks. I am a medical doctor practicing general medicine for nearly 25 years. I've worked as an emergency room physician, flight surgeon, and in private practice I have published my research on preventative health care. I understand the limitations conventional medicine has to offer, especially with regards to chronic disease. Having been raised by a father in food research for Armour Foods, I am keenly aware of the impact that adding prevention to the practice of medicine will have towards leading a healthy lifestyle. I've been using this program with my patients to remove toxins from the body, repair the cell membrane damage, and revitalize cellular health. Why? Because toxins damage health. We need to reverse their actions. My patients are always telling me about how great they feel and the positive difference it makes in their lives. After going on this program, they experience a wealth of positive outcomes. These benefits include improved mental cognitive function, such as enhanced focus and clarity. They also enjoy more energy, improved sleep patterns, fewer colds and upper respiratory infections, less general pain, decrease in blood pressure, and an overall sense of feeling good. The first thing you should know is all health begins at the cellular level. As the basic units of the human body, cells are fascinating. As we do as a whole, cells communicate with each other, absorb nutrition, and excrete waste individually. Let me familiarize you with the cell. The membrane or skin of the cell protects it from harm. It's also responsible for the exchange of nutrients and waste products. The cytoplasm is the fluid that surrounds the cell's tiny organs called organelles. The mitochondria are the batteries of the cell. They're responsible for giving the cell the energy it needs to do its work. The nucleus is considered the brain of the cell. It directs the cell's various activities. The cell membrane is composed of special fats called lipids. These fats give the cell membrane the resilience or fluidity to pass off waste, absorb nutrients, and maintain an electric charge. Heavy metals and other toxins destroy this crucial mechanism. Here you can see the tissues on the left, healthy, responsive to their environment, and repairing themselves. On the right, we see the results of oxidative damage to the cells. You can see the difference. When this membrane is damaged by harmful molecules called free radicals, toxins like heavy metals or chemicals can more easily invade the cell and destroy its functions. Everyone has chemicals warehoused in their bodies, primarily in fat tissues. In fact, the United States Environmental Protection Agency did a study where random fat samples were taken from cadavers. 100% of the samples contained dioxins, PCBs, dichlorobenzene, styrene, and xylene. Recent studies with osteoporosis reveal that heavy metal toxins store in the bone and displace the minerals normally found there. Another recent study by Mount Sinai School of Medicine found an average of 91 industrial compounds, pollutants, and other chemicals in the blood and urine of 9 volunteers. Added together, 167 chemicals were found in the group. Scientists refer to this contamination as a person's toxic load or body burden. Like most of us, the people tested were not exposed to chemicals on the job and do not live near industrial facilities. The scariest thing is long-term, low-level heavy metal toxicities and the body's accumulation of environmental chemicals are currently linked to our nation's top killers. Heavy metal toxicity is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. Federal investigators have found a toxic rocket fuel chemical in almost all of more than 200 samples of lettuce and milk collected nationwide. The results provide startling new evidence that perchlorate, the explosive compound of solid rocket fuel, is moving from the hundreds of places where it is known to contaminate water supplies into the nation's food supply. When it comes to medical emergencies, contemporary conventional medicine is magnificent.